Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant Bhaja Govindam verses 26 to 31, the last 6 shlokas.
Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham atmajnana vihina mudha te pachyante narakanigudha. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Deyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam Sukhata Kriyate Rama Bhogaha Paschadanta Sharire Rogaha Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukalesha satyam Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitaritihi Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya nitya viveka vicharam Japya sameta samadhi vidanam kurvavadanam mahadavadanam Guru charanambuja nirbharasaktaha samsaradachirat bhavamuktaha Sendriyamanasaniyamadevam drakshasi nijahridayastam devam.
In this text, Bhaja Govindam, we have so far seen up to shloka number 26. In 26, he says, Kamam, Krodham, Lobham, Moham, Tyaktva, Atmanam, Pashyati, Soham. So we need to have correct perception about ourselves. And if you want to have correct perception about yourself, you need to remove the obstacles that are right now not allowing you to have right perception. So what are the obstacles? The obstacles are not outside, first of all, they are inside you. They are called Kamam, Krodham, Lobham, Moham, Mada, Matsarya, Bhaya, etc. So all these are what? Desire, anger, greed, delusion, jealousy, arrogance, fear, etc. These all need to be renounced. Tyaktva. Tyaktva means having renounced. So, having renounced kamam, desire for the worldly objects. How? Through knowledge. You see, whenever the word renunciation comes, remember, knowledge should come immediately. Because renunciation, knowledge, growth, they are all synonyms. In fact, in my Saturday morning class 8 to 9, I am doing this book only, Vedanta Treatise. In that Vedanta Treatise book, we are now in the chapter renunciation. We just started in part B. So there we are studying all this. What is renunciation? Swamiji gives beautiful examples to explain this. The petals of a flower will automatically fall away when the flower matures into a fruit. If you forcefully pluck the petals, it won't become fruit. Isn't it? When the flower matures into the fruit, the petals automatically fall away. So therefore, similarly, another example he gives. What is that? When the child, which is exposed to the toy world, is slowly exposed to the cycle world. When the child starts enjoying cycling alone, cycling with the friends, etc., and the body also secretes good chemicals, slowly the child starts losing the attachment to the toy world. The toy world gives up the child. Child is not giving up the toy world. Child only took up the cycle world. You understand? Child grew to the level of the cycle world. Automatically the lower toy world falls away. So when you grow to the higher realms, the lower falls away. So when you gain the knowledge of the higher aspects of life, and especially about your true nature, and you start living that knowledge, slowly you develop detachment to the world. Your desires, thereafter you won't be living in the world merely to fulfill your desires. You may, in the beginning, may not have risen to the level where you have no desire for the world. You still may have desires for the world, but at least you will not live only to fulfill your desires. You will say, listen, like for example, the mother is also hungry. But what the mother will do, not only cook for herself, she will cook for the whole family, then she will eat. You understand? Similarly, you rise above, giving a higher direction with the higher knowledge. You rise above kamam. And when you have kamam, when the kamam desire is interrupted, you will get anger. Whoever is interrupting, you will become angry with that person. Anger is nothing but deflected thought current. Desire interruption, when the desire is interrupted, it becomes anger. You have a desire for an object. And somebody comes in between, they say, this is mine. Or I will only get it, you should not work for it. You get angry with them. Because the thought currents are going from you to the object. Now they are coming and deflecting it towards them. Because by interrupting. So that's called anger. Deflected thought current is called anger. So wherever there is anger means there is desire. There is attachment. Remember that. And when your desires are fulfilled, you get greed. And in that success, you will be completely deluded. When you are angry, you will be deluded. All this leads to delusion. And out of delusion, you compare yourself with others. And then those who have more than you, you feel jealous. Those who have less than you, you feel arrogant. Then there is a fear of losing what you have achieved. All these are the obstacles. So you have to rise above them by gaining knowledge about them first of all. Understand that all these are passing, fleeting, temporary objects. Isn't it what Sri Krishna said in the second chapter of the Gita? Matras parshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukadukkadaha agama payinaha anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Matras parshastu kaunteya. O Kaunteya, O Kunti Putra Arjuna, when you contact this world, the world of objects and beings, what happens? He says, you will get certain experiences. What kind of experiences? Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. Shita means what? Cold. Ushna means hot. Isn't it? And Sukha, Dukkha means pleasure and pain. Cold is pleasure now. In winter it is pain. Before marriage, when you are courting your lover, pleasure. After marriage, now the lover has become husband or wife, pain. Just for, just to make you laugh. When I see your face very serious on the camera, So, therefore, Shita, Ushna is sometimes pleasure, sometimes pain. What are they? Agama Payinaha. They come and go. Anityaha. They are not Nitya. What are they? Anityaha. Tam titikshasva Bharata. Endure that, O Bharata, O Arjuna. Verse number 14, chapter 2. Those of you who are interested in kind of studying Gita, once again, I know you've gone through it. If you want to study properly from the beginning, we are doing a class every Sunday morning. It is in person and hybrid, or sometimes it's only online. Like now when I'm traveling, it's online. Otherwise, it's in person but also hybrid. I do it
what
in
time, Guruji? What time?
It's 11 to 12 every Sunday morning.
Please send out the link.
Sure, I will. Also, like this class is being put in YouTube. That class also they're recording and putting in YouTube. So whatever number of classes you missed, you can listen to that in the YouTube. But
and where is it happening in person, Guruji?
Vasant Vihar. Okay. So now I'm only quoting this because this shloka is telling us that the contact with the sense objects, they give you pleasure and pain, and they won't give you pleasure all the time. They'll give you pain initially if it gives pleasure. If it gives pain in the beginning, it will give pleasure later. It keeps on going like this. So therefore what? Seek something permanent. So you understand about it, then you will be controlled with reference to that. When your mind is calm, composed, serene, then what you studied in the scripture about yourself, that you are not Ashu, that you are not Vinnati, that you are not Krishna, that you are not Sona, but Atma. You will start realizing that slowly. That's what he's saying. Kamam krodam lobam moham tyaktva atmanam pashyati soham. Saha aham. Soham means saha aham. I am he. I am that Purusha. Purusha means the Lord. Prakriti is this body, mind, intellect complex. So therefore, when I understand that, I will be then I won't have any more janma. Then he says, Atma Jnana Vihina Mudaha. A fool who doesn't have Atma Jnana. Fool lacking self-knowledge. What happens to that fellow? He says, Te Pachyante Narakani Gudaha. Fools lack self-knowledge. They are tortured as captives in hell. Their mind is constantly agitated. See, the moment you have a desire means it's a potential agitation. Potential agitation. You don't know whether your desire will be fulfilled or not. And there is so much effort needs to be put in. And there is no assurance for it. And after getting it, there is fear of losing it. So there is constant agitation associated with the pursuit of object of desires as an end in itself. Vedanta does not say, do not have desires. Do not contact the object of desires. It doesn't say so. All that it says is, let not your life be just fulfilling your desires, just chasing the object of desires. Let it be working for a higher purpose. And then from that whatever comes, you enjoy the world. Nothing wrong. That way what happens? Slowly, you will rise above the attachment to the world also. So therefore, he says, when you lack self-knowledge, you will be tortured in hell as captive. Hell means not a geographical place. It's a state of mind. When you are in a state of mind which is happy, you are in heaven. Isn't it? When you are in a state of mind which is disturbed, agitated, you are in hell. If you like this class, when I conclude this, so soon 1 hour gone. When, supposing, anyway I have signed in now, how to sign out, it won't look nice. So when will you finish, every 2 minutes you'll be looking at the clock. You feel as if this fellow is not ended only. Has he forgotten that the class is for an hour or what has happened? You'll think like that. Isn't it? So, mind, John Milton says, mind in its own place, can make a hell out of heaven, heaven out of hell. In Delhi, in your house, with your children, with your spouse, with your dogs, with everything, you will be happy if you gain this knowledge. If this knowledge is not there and your inside is not fortified, if your mind and intellect are not strengthened, then wherever you are, even temporarily, supposing there is a place called heaven, there is no place called heaven, it's only mental state. Assuming that there is a place called heaven and you are taken there, you will be in Naraka. There also. You understand? Therefore, he says they are tortured as captives in hell. Meaning they are constantly agitated. Neither will they enjoy, do they have the capacity to enjoy, nor will they allow anybody else to enjoy. Therefore, he says, you must rise above the desires and then experience, reveal the self to yourself, realize the self, and then experience the bliss within. That is what he's saying. So therefore, what you have to do? You have to gain the knowledge. The most important thing is knowledge of the self. A person living in the world without knowledge of the self, he or she cannot be in bliss. They will only be tasting some joy or pleasure temporarily, but soaked in pain all the time. Courting the joy all the time, not really contented or satisfied. Therefore, you must gain the knowledge. Do everything, whatever you want to do, have fun, enjoy. But be serious with reference to gaining the knowledge of the self. That alone is important. Nothing else matters. When we die and go, we only take that, nothing else. Even your jewelry they'll take. You understand? Whatever jewelry, supposing one ring, it's so tight, it's not coming out. And they somehow are not able to take it. The cremation ground, they'll make sure they'll take it. At least it will be useful for somebody. That way it's okay. So the only thing we really take it with us is what? Knowledge. Nothing else. You don't take anything with you. With that knowledge, you would have risen above tamas, rajas and established yourself in sattva. So at the time of death, what do we carry forward? Our sattva, rajas, tamas alone we carry forward. If you had gained knowledge and put it into practice in your life, you would carry a lot of sattva with you. If not, you will carry a lot of tamas and rajas with you. Therefore, do whatever you have to do. You have obligations to fulfill. Yes, you do. But you also have a very, very important obligation for yourself. That is to gain the knowledge of the self. And when you keep on gaining the knowledge, you will be happy while living and you will find the bliss within. You will understand that you are that reality, not this body, mind, intellect complex or this name or fame or this sex or whatever. You understand? Then what happens? You will live like a master, not as a slave. This is it. So now, in 27, he is going to emphasize on certain disciplines. You understand? So if you want to establish yourself in knowledge, you need to bring in discipline in your life. You need to have a certain lifestyle. See, okay, we have been students of Vedanta for some time now. Now at least, now let's ask ourselves, have we slowly converted our lifestyle into a Vedantic lifestyle? Vedantic lifestyle doesn't mean you have to give up your jewelry, you have to give up your fashionable clothes, you have to give up your residence, you have to give up your cars, helpers at home. Nothing you have to give up. You understand? You have to bring in certain aspects to your lifestyle at the body level, mind level, intellect level. And this at the external level and at the internal level. Both has to be done. Bahiranga sadhanani, antaranga sadhanani. Bahiranga sadhanani means external disciplines. Antaranga sadhanani means internal disciplines. It's very important. Without discipline, it's difficult to control the mind. Without certain external and internal disciplines, very difficult. See, supposing your mind is already wandering everywhere, you are not able to focus. Then you have sports stars photos on the wall, movie actors and actresses photos on the wall, and all kinds of distractions. As I am talking, suddenly you are looking at some cricket star or movie star or somebody, your thought gets distracted. So the room in which you are sitting should also be conducive. You understand? You must understand that the table, the chair, everything has to be comfortable for you. You know, now in Sarikaji's class when I come, they give me one place, I am comfortable there. Like that, when I go to Urmilaji's house, there is one chair. I like the chair without cushion. Initially, they put the cushion, they're thinking that it will be more comfortable. And I sat there, it's not comfortable. For 1 hour, 15 minutes when I'm sitting and doing the class, so I take out the cushion and sit. I'm more comfortable, just ordinary chair. It doesn't matter. It should be comfortable so that the mind cooperates, you can just do what you have to do. You understand? So, you are bringing in these disciplines. Means what? For what purpose? To get the mind to focus on the higher. Very important. In fact, you should set a goal and everything should be revolving around that. And the goal should be to evolve, to gain the knowledge of the self. Accordingly, you got to change your lifestyle. So that's what he says in verse number 27. Let's chant 27.
Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Deyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam.
He says, Bhagavad Gita. Geyam Gita. Geyam means to be chanted. What should be chanted? Gita and Nama Sahasram. Nama Sahasram means he's talking about Vishnu Sahasranama. Also Lalita Sahasranama. There are so many namas of the Lord's spoken. We have done Vishnu Sahasranama in the class. So there is another text called Lalita Sahasranama. It is widely believed that he is referring to Vishnu Sahasranama because Adi Shankara has given the commentary for Vishnu Sahasranama. But the interesting thing is, when Adi Shankara wrote the commentary for Vishnu Sahasranama, there is a very interesting story there. We are told that Adi Shankara told one small girl or one of his disciples, I forgot, to go and get one book which is kept inside, which is Lalita Sahasranama actually. Get that so that I can write commentary for it. And he wanted to write commentary for it. So he said, please bring that book. The child went and brought Vishnu Sahasranama. He said, no. I told you to bring that book. Please go bring. Again went and brought Vishnu Sahasranama. Like that I believe 2-3 times it happened. Then he said, Arey, it looks like Bhagavan is asking me to write commentary for Vishnu Sahasranama rather than Lalita Sahasranama first. So he wrote commentary for Vishnu Sahasranama. Therefore they take it as Vishnu Sahasranama. It really doesn't matter. Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, these are all very powerful namas of the Lord. Each one of them, are serving as pointers, reminding us of the divinity, to help us reflect on the divinity, to turn our mind inward. All are very beautiful namas. It also certain things remind us of the certain practices, the namas. So, he says Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama should be chanted. Chanted means it's not just Parayanam, all the time just chanting. Studying also, reflecting on them. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Every day you must study the Gita, reflect on the Gita and Vishnu Sahasranama. At the intellect level. This is a discipline at the intellect level. You understand? Now, as soon as we get up, we want to read newspaper. Who's saying don't read newspaper? Read. Read it later on. You understand? First thing, you study Vishnu Sahasranama. First and foremost, we have to strengthen our buddhi. To survive in this world also we need buddhi. And to be able to guide ourselves and rise above these worldly thoughts and desires, we need buddhi. Then we need to have the subtle intellect's guidance to keep ourselves towards the transcendental. Therefore, a very important discipline is to strengthen the buddhi. And how do you strengthen the buddhi? By giving, what fodder do you strengthen? By giving the higher knowledge as the fodder. You understand? You will be studying about Atma, Anatma and all that in the text, in the scriptures. So therefore he is saying you must strengthen your buddhi, reflecting over the scriptures. Your buddhi will become sharp, your buddhi will become purified, your mind will become purified. Therefore he says Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama should be chanted. And form of the Lord of Lakshmi, Shripati, always meditated upon. This is Upasana. This is a mental discipline. Earlier it was intellectual discipline. Studying Gita and Sahasranama. Now he is talking about mental level. What? Meditating on the form of Lakshmi's Lord. Shripati Rupam. Where are we all the time focusing on? What are we focusing on? Money. All the time money. Therefore our name should be changed to, whatever name you have, from that to Chinta Mani. Because all the time our Chinta is on money, money, money. You understand? Therefore he says, instead of money, you go to the Lord of Lakshmi. Lakshmi represents what? Goddess of wealth. Shift your attention from the material wealth to the inner wealth. You understand? The real wealth. See that what is real wealth we don't understand. What is the use of all the wealth that you have without the inner wealth? What is the use? You need a good body to enjoy the material world. You need a peaceful mind to enjoy the material world. You need a sharp intellect to face the challenges of this world. And all this, if you want, you should be focusing on the higher aspects of life. So you must understand what is real wealth. What is the use of all this without that? So therefore he says, focus, worship mentally, meditate upon the form of Goddess Lakshmi. What is the sadhana called Upasana? Upa-asana, sitting near. Upasana, mentally focusing on the Rupa of the God. There's something called a Sri Vidya sadhana, or they call it Sri Vidya Upasana. So basically, focusing the mind on certain forms or symbols. You understand? Rather than focusing it on material things. So therefore he says, you should be meditating upon the form of Shripati, Lord of Lakshmi. And then, once you do these two sadhana, your mind gets purified, your intellect gets purified, becomes strong. Then what happens? You will want to associate with the righteous people physically. And to do this, also to do the study, reflection on the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Vishnu Sahasranama, etc. And also to focus on, Shripati Rupa, you need to associate with good people. If you associate with people all the time talking about property, do you know the property value has gone up there? Do you know the share market is fallen today? It is going to rise tomorrow. All the time, 24/7. You understand? Then where will your mind be? Therefore, physically you need to associate with righteous people, good people, dharmic people who follow the rules and regulations for the sake of their own and for the sake of others. You understand? So he says the mind associated with the good and wealth given to the needy. So thus when your mind is prepared, it will become fulfilled. With that contented and fulfilled mind, you would be doing lot of charity. In fact, whatever you do, you will be doing it with charitable attitude. See, one thing is, from the money you earn, some percentage you give to some people in charity, which is okay, which is good. But more than that, you also, live life which itself is charitable. With the knowledge, you will be sharing that knowledge to so many people. You will be a pillar of strength for a lot of people emotionally. And physically, you may be distributing your wealth. See, some people may not be physically wealthy, materially wealthy, to go and distribute their wealth to others. But they are physically healthy, so they go and serve so many people. You understand? Wherever they can go and help, they'll help. So, in other words, your life will be converted for the welfare of the world. Loka sangrahame vapi, says the Bhagavad Gita. For the sake of welfare of the world. Not just for me, all the time. So 24/7, 365 days, you will be functioning with charitable disposition. You understand? So therefore he says, these are disciplines you got to maintain. Good company, distributing wealth. See, distributing wealth in the sense, there are so many people around you who lack many things. In what way can we improve their lives? So you will think in that angle and then you function. Not just me, okay, I've got this bank balance, all the time thinking just me. You rise above all this me, ego, mind, and then distribute your wealth to the needy. See, giving should not be emotional. While there are pure emotions that needs to be backing the giving, but you can't just purely give out of emotion alone. You understand? When you give, the giving should develop or grow both the donor and the donee. Both has to grow materially and spiritually. Otherwise, it is purely done out of some superficial emotions. Just you felt like and you gave, that's it. So that's not what he's saying. So when you follow this, the Bhagavad Gita, he talks about, Sri Krishna says, when he talks about renunciation, he says, in my opinion, you should not give up yajna, dana, tapa. Yajna, dana, tapa. YDT. Y means yajna, D means dana, T means tapas. What is tapas? Tapas in English means austerity. Swamiji says this discipline of tapas envisages two aspects. What are they? Your energy is now getting dissipated. You understand? In the lower channels. So, what do you have to do? You have to plug the dissipation. That's the first aspect of tapas. Conserving the energy that is getting dissipated in the lower channels. And second, directing that energy conserved towards the higher. This is called tapas. So you got to constantly do tapas at the intellectual level, physical level, emotional level, or all level. And then, dhanam karna chahiye. Material dhanam, physical, emotional, intellectual. We studied different dhanam. Where did we study? Anybody? Dravya yajna. In fact, all this he calls as yajna, but it is also giving. Yajna means sacrifice. Your life should be sacrificing ego. Right? So, you keep minimum for yourself and the rest for the welfare of the world. Are you with me? In fact, You serve the world and whatever comes out of it, you take. That is called yajna. So yajna, dana, dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, jnana yajna, swadhyaya yajna. We studied all this in the 4th chapter of the Gita. Do you remember? You don't remember. In the 4th chapter we studied 12 yajnas. 12 yajna. Sunandaji will be doing that this year. 4th chapter of the Gita in October. Sunandaji will be coming and lecturing. This time it is organized in Sri Ram Auditorium in Mandi House area. So, 12 yajnas. Out of that, dravya yajna, material sacrifice. Dravya yajna. Then, tapo yajna, physical sacrifice. Yoga yajna, emotional sacrifice. Jnana yajna, intellectual sacrifice. Swadhyaya yajna. What is that? Daily studying. When you daily study, what happens? Pata मैं कौन हूँ, पता मेरा बाप कौन हूँ, all that pata will stop. Meaning what? You are sacrificing what? In yajna, there are certain things sacrificed, no? When there is yajna, fire worship, what is happening? Into the fire, whatever you brought, like some grains or ghee, whatever, you offer it in the fire. Then the fire shoots up and blesses you. So in yajna, there is an oblation, there is a kindling. So in swadhyaya yajna, what is offered? Your ignorance is offered. Your ego is offered. You understand? Then what is kindled? Jnanam is kindled. Knowledge of the self is kindled. It's called swadhyaya, daily study. So you got to convert your lifestyle to this lifestyle. What? Daily study, reflection, meditation upon the Lord, mental worship. It's Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam. Manasa Vyapara. Manasa Vyapara means what? It's a mental activity. Upasana is a mental activity. That's what it means when you say Manasa Vyapara. So mental activity means what? Mentally, you are channelizing your emotions and thoughts towards an idol. See, we need an idol to direct our thoughts towards the ideal. Isn't it? That's why slowly we need to build national consciousness. Till the time we develop national consciousness, we need the help of the national flag. We need to have the Independence Day, Republic Day, all that celebrated. And on those days when we are growing up, in the schools, they'll have flag hoisting, they'll have a lot of stories of great freedom fighters discussed, and they'll also make us dress up like the freedom fighters and come and compete in the fancy dress competition. What is all this? To get our mind channelized in that national awareness. Isn't it? Once you got that national awareness, then with or without national flag in front of you, you will be reminded of the nation 24/7. So the mind has to be rooted in the divinity. So therefore, in the beginning, form worship is recommended. In the beginning. Through the form, you may go to the formless. And there are different kinds of forms. One is the physical form. Other is fire. Fire is also a form, idol. You worship fire. Through fire, you understand the divinity that is behind everything. You identify with that. Through an idol, which represents the ideal, you are dedicating yourself towards the ideal. Then the form, when it becomes subtle, what is that? Omkara mantra, Pranava mantra. That is also a symbol only. You understand? But that is subtle. Why do we say that is subtle and form, physical form is gross, physical form is made of earth. It's made of a metal or something, no? Earth can be contacted by all the five senses. Isn't it? Earth can be contacted by all the five senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. It can be contacted. But when it comes to water, nose cannot contact water. All the other four senses can contact. When it comes to fire, nose and tongue cannot contact. You understand? But all the other three can contact. What? Eyes, skin and ears. When it comes to air, skin and ears can contact. When it comes to sound, only ear can contact. So Om is sound. Only one sense can contact. Therefore it is the subtlest. Earth is all five senses that can be contacted. Therefore it is grossest. Om is the subtlest form. Earth is the grossest form. You understand? Then fire is in between. It's the first element that can be seen. Therefore that widely you see fire is taken to be an idol to worship. It doesn't matter what you take as form. Like they meditate upon a lamp that is glowing. Focus on that and then they meditate. So all these various forms of worship, studying, reflecting, chanting. Studying Bhagavad Gita and chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. Now Vishnu Sahasranama, if you chant, forget about understanding the meaning and all, you will develop a lot of Vak Shuddhi. Tongue twisters are there. You will have to really focus. You will develop your focusing ability. And you will be able to develop Vak Shuddhi. See, when awareness is built, focusing is developed, and Vak Shuddhi comes, thereafter you cannot go and talk, swearing words. You cannot swear at anybody. Not possible. You will be purified. Once you are purified, you cannot get back to your old style of living. Gross or base style of living. Not possible. Desdemona, a character in Othello, main character, Othello's wife in the play, she was beautiful also, externally, physically, and her character was also beautiful. So, later on when Othello, he is a good fellow but he is a passive fellow. He got attached to his wife and then he becomes jealous. It was planted by Iago nicely in Othello. So he is having jealous. So he suspects his wife and then he kills her finally. And he kills himself when he comes to know the truth that she was pure. Now, when she is angry with her because of his own jealous, nothing wrong with her. You know how Shakespeare paints the character of Desdemona? He says, she found vice in her virtue for not having given more than what was asked. Means somebody will ask 100 rupees, she will give 100 rupees. Then after giving, and they would have gone. She'll feel, I could have given them 150. Maybe they needed 150 and they hesitated to ask. That is how good she is. Very good character. Such a character she had, and Othello doubts her, and then he uses a very, very bad word, swear word, against her. And she cannot repeat it. She says, am I that name? She's asking Iago, who's there? He's the one who planted jealousy in Othello's mind. Am I that name, Iago? Am I that name? Am I that name? She's not able to repeat it because she's having Vak Shuddhi. She's developed. She's become aware. She's evolved. She's focusing on the higher. Good character. Even repeating she cannot. So she's saying, am I that name? Am I that name? Am I that name, Iago? And Iago is asking, what name? What name? And she can't say that. And Iago's wife, who's there, Emilia, she says, he called her so and so name. So, what I'm trying to say is, you develop a lot of vak shuddhi. You develop a lot of mental shuddhi. Why do we say chant Vishnu Sahasranama? Any chanting for that matter. Chanting is a wonderful exercise. If you can do that exercise for 15 minutes, there's a lot of pranayama involved in chanting. First of all, when you chant, there is a long exhalation. Isn't it? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Like that when you chant, you cannot talk when you are inhaling. You can only talk when you are exhaling. You try. So when you are chanting, you are doing long exhalations. When you do pranayama, what do they say? Exhalation should be twice the inhalation time, minimum. Isn't it? If you are inhaling for 4 counts, exhale 8 counts, they say. You have to do all that with the help of a guru. Don't do it yourself. So then, what is happening? When you do long exhalations, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. You become calm, composed. When you are stressed, the sympathetic nervous system is kicked in. You start breathing very shallow. Like that, because you need to survive now. Long-term thinking and all you won't be involved in. Survive you have to do. During Corona, what did people do? Took out all the money from their investments, even if it's a loss. अरे यार पहला हम survive तो करो, वो बाद में देख लेंगे. Then slowly they started investing, na? Slowly, the same thing. So in our nature, when we go through stress, sympathetic nervous system kicks in, so that adrenaline pumps out to fight or flee the challenge. When that is settled, we need parasympathetic nervous system to come. So when we are stressed out in life, and if you are going through this kind of lifestyle where you do chanting and all, it quietens you, it helps you to quieten by kicking in parasympathetic nervous system, and also your thoughts are associated towards the divinity, and also it improves a lot of focus, and all this when it happens you develop a lot of clarity in life. That is very, very important. So therefore, he says, studying the Gita, chanting the Sahasranama, and worshipping the form of the goddess Lakshmi, which is Narayana, Vishnu. Vishnu means all-pervading reality. So basically, a form that represents the reality. It's not that only Vishnu you should worship, you should not worship Lord Shiva. In fact, Adi Shankaracharya is a Shaivite. Though he is a Shaivite, he is telling worship Lord Vishnu. It is not the Lord Vishnu or anything. It is the reality. Vishnu literally means all-pervading. You understand? So that reality you worship through a form. Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam Manasa Vyapara. When you do, and associate with good people, righteous people, dharmic people, who follow the laws of life and laws of the land. So you will also be following that. What does it mean? It means that you don't live on ego. You don't live on your likes and dislikes. There is a system. Red lights are put with our tax money only. The police people are there. For what? For our, life to be more qualitative. Isn't it? When there is proper traffic movement, everybody can go to their destination safely, enjoy. I won't respect the red light. Simply I'll go. I create chaos there. Put your life also in danger, everybody else's life in danger. So such egoistic people are adharmic, no? So adharmic when you say what? Living for just me, my likes and dislikes, my comfort, my pleasure, vis-a-vis the total. Even though I may have to go through a little bit of difficulty, I don't mind. Many times it happens in Delhi, you see. You have to go somewhere, but there's no parking available. But little, half a kilometer away, parking may be available, which means what? You have to put yourself into little discomfort. Walk for half a kilometer, come and do that work and go back. You do not want to do that. What do? You park the car in the middle of the road. Abhi aa jayenge, abhi. You understand? Your abhi is what, 5 minutes or 15 minutes? किसको पता है? नहीं, अभी 5 मिनट के लिए गया था, लेकिन उधर ये हो गया, वो हो गया. अरे बाबा, just go half an hour, half a kilometer away, park it, come back. No, So when he says associate with good people, dharmic people, they put you on the right track, you'll be peaceful. And distribute the wealth, meaning little extra that you have, help the people in need. What is that you are going to gain by keeping it extra? See, when you understand that we are one family, how does it matter whether it is in your pocket or it's in your son's pocket or your daughter's pocket? Huh? You have some money in the house, you keep it in the locker. Whenever you want, you take it, I take it, I want it, I'll take it. It's like that. We are one family. So when there is surplus, give. Lead a simple life, so there will automatically be little surplus, and with that surplus, serve the needy. So mind becomes contented. See, all this is very important to see the self pulsating within, to see the truth, reality pulsating within. Unless and until the mind is calm and composed, it's not possible. Therefore, he says, Bhagavad Gita, study that. Sahasranama, chant that, study that. Form of the Lord of Shripati means Lord of the Goddess Lakshmi, Narayana. Reality. Focus on the reality through worshipping of form. And then associate yourself with good people and live life charitably. When you do this kind of disciplines, when you bring in these kind of disciplines in your life, then what happens? You will be calm, composed, serene, which will help you to be more successful and peaceful in life, and also you will rise above the desires, and slowly the truth from within reveals itself. Therefore, it becomes extremely important to watch your lifestyle. What lifestyle you are following. Studying Gita, but lifestyle is totally indulgent lifestyle in the world. Now, how will the mind cooperate for you to allow the knowledge to go in and convert itself into wisdom? Not possible. If you're too caught up, it's difficult. That's why in the book Vedanta Treatise, written by Swamiji, he says, in a topic called How to Gain Wisdom, he gives a beautiful example of making curd. Curd, yogurt. How do you make? He says, milk should be boiled and brought to lukewarm condition. So milk, white color, in lukewarm condition represents sattva. Not rajas or tamas. Rajas means too hot. Tamas means too cold. You understand? Mind that is in lukewarm condition and white color represents sattvic mind. Okay. In that lukewarm milk, you add little jamun. So a mind that has been living charitably dispossessed lifestyle and associating with dharmic people and worshipping the form of the Lord mentally and studying and reflecting and chanting the scriptures. You understand? Then what happens? You develop more and more sattvic. So in sattvic mind, you should add the knowledge. You must study scriptures. After following all this disciplines, you follow the study, reflection, adding little jamun to the lukewarm milk. Then leave it overnight, meaning go into the world and serve the society. Do karma yoga. Then slowly you will find the knowledge getting converted into wisdom, like curd getting formed. You understand? So, firstly, disciplines, sattvic mind, in that you add knowledge. Little knowledge, not too much. And then continue doing karma yoga in the world. Slowly, when you continue this kind of a lifestyle, your knowledge will get converted into wisdom. Otherwise, it will just be information. It won't get converted into wisdom. Therefore, these disciplines are very important. That's why he says Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama should be chanted. Now, don't literally take those two scriptures only, any scripture. Oh, does it mean that we should not chant this, like Ashtavakra Gita, Uddhava Gita? Don't worry. Study the scriptures at all levels, physical, emotional, intellectual and material. The material level also. There's a very, very beautiful quotation by Oliver Goldsmith. He says, nakedness of this world can be clothed with the trimmings of the vein. Do you understand that? Nakedness of this world can be clothed with the trimmings of the vein. Vein means vanity, egoistic. So, you open the cupboard. You can't even open the cupboard fully, because if you open fully, upon you the clothes will come and fall and you won't be found. So much clothes are inside. Because breakfast ke liye I have to wear this. After breakfast, when I'm brushing my teeth, I have to wear this. Then I have to wear that, to beautify your vanity. He says that's that extra fill if you cut and give. It can clothe the naked people in the world, it says. So, when you gain this knowledge, you become so conscious that you do not want to take more than what is necessary. You do not want to take. That storing for future, the future. You won't. I've explained this in one of the classes before. There's a vast difference between saving and surplus. It's not saving that you have to do. By living a simple life, automatically there will be surplus. And with that surplus, you again put it back for the welfare of the world. Serve. So, the point he's trying to convey in this is discipline at all levels. All that he's talking about here is Bahiranga Sadhana. Later on he'll talk about Antaranga Sadhana. All are interconnected. So when you do this, it helps in finding the self within, in revealing the self within. And in revealing the self within, what happens? The quality of your life escalates, improves. You'll find peace within and harmony without. You'll be more dynamic and productive and successful. Therefore, he says, this is a must. These disciplines at all levels are a must. See, the problem is, at some level we'll do something, but not at all levels. Especially a lot of people don't understand the value of reflecting on the knowledge. You will be interested in going to a lot of pilgrimages. You need distraction. So some kind of distractions you give all that. But sitting and studying is also important. But that alone is not what is to be done. Along with that, you do the other disciplines. When you do so, then you evolve spiritually. Then you will be able to see the truth reflecting within, which he said, no, last shloka. You should be able to see Atmanam Pashyati Soham, he says. You should see the Atma within. When will you do? When you gain the knowledge. How to gain the knowledge? Following these disciplines. You understand? Therefore, it becomes very, very important to follow this sattvic lifestyle. Bina kuch sattvic lifestyle, if you just have indulgent lifestyle, rajasic or tamasic, you forget. No information will go in. The knowledge won't be get converted into wisdom. If it's too hot milk, it won't get converted into curd. Na? So all the time, desirously, passionately, running, and then sit and study the scripture. What will go in? Sir, can you urgently finish Bhaja Govindam today? And gently means what? Don't even say Bhaja Govindam, just say Govindam. That's enough. Save some time for me. Alright? इतना जल्दी क्या भाई? You understand? I always tell in the classes, if you are in a hurry, you cannot meet Hari. You understand? You want to meet Hari, don't be in a hurry. Everything hurry. Jaldi, jaldi. People call me also, sir, I want to study Gita. Please, please, you must start Gita class for us. I try to keep on, deferring it. Unnecessarily, you will say start. Once we start 700 shlokas, it will go for a few years. In between, you will divorce me and go somewhere else. You understand? But I will have to continue once you have started, puja. You don't feel like this is stopping in between. I am sitting in the puja, you are going and watching movie. You understand? So I just say something or the other and try to escape. Avoid it, No, please. And then they'll say, kitna time lagega? Kitna time lagega means what? As if I decide, honestly speaking, we don't know. Some days, we cover few shlokas, some days we cover only one shloka. We don't know really, honestly speaking. So how can I explain? I say, अरे यार 2-3 साल हो जाता है 2-3 साल हो जाता है 2 दिन में कर सकते हैं अरे 2 दिन half an hour I have 1 hour the two night 12 o'clock night 12 o'clock you are awake I am asleep you understand so therefore this is not the way to convert the knowledge into wisdom discipline then knowledge discipline knowledge when you see the grinder which you use to get the atta for dosa and all the grinder will have a what do you call that which will rotate in between and there will be one wood or something stopping the flour because the grinder is grinding and this will be stopping the flour. Have you seen that? Earlier they used to do it physically. With the left hand they'll be grinding, the right hand they'll be pushing. But now the grinder is doing it. Like that, discipline, knowledge. You forget everything, grinder you will remember. You understand? That's why I'm giving that example. Both has to go hand in hand. Then only you will grow spiritually. Otherwise not possible. Let's conclude now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana va Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami